If I think about wood, as a kid I used to climb trees, and I would climb to the tallest branch in the tree, and I would get so high up there that in the wind the whole tree would move, and I was so connected. It was such a spiritual experience for me. I was kind of outside myself. I think wood is an ideal material in that it's sensual. You want to touch it, and it has a really exciting surface as a natural material. The grain makes a beautiful pattern that interacts with the form, and that feature I try to exploit in my figures. I also use color to activate certain sections of the forms. When I create a new piece, I would say it's a dance between the wood and what I'm imagining. Since it doesn't exist, I look at pictures and I do research about birds and animals, and I'm imagining that this animal head is attached to this human body. So I start at the head, and then from there I compose it to the feet or the floor. So they're Egyptian influences and Egyptian influences from India, goddesses, and you don't see really goddess imagery in Christian religious traditions, which is what I grew up in, except for if you want to consider Catholicism and the Virgin Mary. But yeah, the animal mythology, I would say, comes from worldwide religions, not necessarily Christianity, but it's something that's very inspiring to me. Before that, I had done all these sort of found object assemblage sculptures, rudimentary faces and figures, and they were glued to boards, some of them, but some of them were very three-dimensional. But I had sort of this lingering curiosity about wood that I hadn't really explored it as a medium or a material. But I met Joe Wheelwright at Open Studios in the South End in 1995, and he was teaching wood carving in his studio, so he asked me to join the class. And it was, I was in my 20s. Most of the students were older, maybe retired, just looking for a hobby, maybe midlife career changers. So it was a non-traditional setting in terms of wasn't a college art class or a college art, a studio type setting that I learned. But it gave me the techniques, the clamps, the mallets, the sharpening, the chisels. It gave me the use of a chainsaw. It gave me all the bare bone techniques of carving wood. And even though I started carving a mask and a spoon and kind of rudimentary forms, about the fourth or fifth thing I carved was this horse-headed female figure, and that just became the birth of this idea of doing these, really feminist, really powerful female figures that I feel like I don't see in the art world. I don't see in magazines, I don't see in catalogs or museum shows or galleries. I just don't see this sort of powerful representation of women, and that's what I'm after in my work.